You ever prayed and felt like heaven went on mute? Like you've been showing up, doing what you're supposed to, and still silence? That kind of quiet can shake you, make you second guess your faith, your decisions, even your worth. But let me tell you something real. Silence is not the same as absence. Don't confuse the two. Just because God isn't speaking loudly doesn't mean he isn't moving deeply. See, we're used to noise, to feedback, to affirmation, likes, shares, texts, applause. We get addicted to being seen. So when God draws us into a season where the only voice we hear is our own, panic creeps in. We start thinking maybe he's done with us, maybe we missed it, maybe we're not enough. But the truth is, some of the most powerful work God does in your life happens when he's silent. Because silence is where preparation begins. Think about how seeds work. They get planted, buried under dirt, completely out of sight. No one claps for a seed. No one praises the dirt. But what's happening underground is necessary for anything to grow above ground. God does the same with you. He plants purpose inside you, then buries you, not to kill you, but to grow you. And it's in the dark that roots take shape. It's in the hidden place that your foundation gets strong enough to carry the weight of what's coming. You may not see the full picture right now, but that doesn't mean God isn't painting it. He's preparing you. He's stripping you of the need to be seen so that when the spotlight hits later, it doesn't break you. He's removing the idols you didn't know you had, the approval, the pride, the control. So when he does elevate you, your character is deeper than your platform. I know it feels like you've been forgotten, like everyone else is being blessed, moving forward, being chosen, and here you are, stuck in this quiet, dusty place. But baby, the wilderness is where the warriors are made. That silence, that's the classroom. That's where God teaches you to hear his whisper instead of chasing an echo. It's where he stops being a Sunday performance and becomes your daily anchor. You learn to pray without needing goosebumps. You learn to obey without needing evidence. You learn to worship when your world feels like it's falling apart. Because that's what real faith is. It's not just praising him when the doors open, but trusting him when there's not even a doorknob in sight. Don't despise the silence. Don't rush the process. You may feel invisible now, but invisibility doesn't mean insignificance. It means you're in training. It means God trusts you with the dark room because he knows what he placed in you is developing. Every time you show up, every time you choose faith over fear, obedience over comfort, you're getting stronger, deeper, steadier. And when the time is right, when the roots are deep, the heart is right, and the soul is steady, he will speak again. And when he does, it won't just be words. It'll be a move, a shift, a release that you're finally ready for. The silence was never punishment, it was preparation. Some of the greatest battles you'll ever face won't be fought in front of a crowd, under lights, or with people cheering you on. They'll be fought in the quiet corners of your soul, when nobody is looking, when nobody is clapping, and when the only one who sees your fight is God. And that's not by accident. God does his most transformative work in private, because public platforms can't handle unprocessed people. He has to work on you in secret before he presents you in purpose. There's something powerful about being hidden, not invisible, hidden. Because when you're hidden, it's intentional. God tucks you away like a potter places clay on a wheel. It doesn't look like much at first. It's just spinning, going in circles. But that's how he shapes you. Pressing, stretching, molding. And the whole time you feel like nothing is happening. You think you're going in circles. But every turn is making you stronger, smoother, more refined. He's not punishing you. He's protecting you from platforms you're not yet built to stand on. See, public success without private surrender is dangerous. That's why God deals with you in the quiet. That's why he calls you to obedience even when nobody else is watching. That's why he asks you to forgive, to stay, to grow, to give up that thing, that relationship, that habit. Because in the private place, there's no audience. It's just you and him. And that's where real integrity is formed, not when the world is looking, but when the door is closed and you still choose him. You don't have to announce every move God is making in you. You don't have to post your process. Growth doesn't always need validation. Sometimes the most anointed seasons of your life will be the most quiet. You're not being overlooked, you're being developed. And when God develops you, he hides you first, he matures you in silence, he teaches you discipline when nobody's around to praise you for it. He builds your character in the shadows so that when you step into the light, you won't be destroyed by what you prayed for. So stop worrying if people are noticing your growth. Stop comparing your journey to someone else's highlight reel. Let them post the fruit. They're in their harvest. But you're still in the soil. And the soil is not a setback, it's the strategy. That's where the roots go deep. That's where you get anchored. Because when the wind blows, and it will blow, only the rooted survive. Only the ones who've been built in private can carry weight in public. If you're in a season where it feels like God is silent, like you're hidden, like you've been tucked away, don't run from it. Lean in. Ask him, what are you forming in me here? Let him stretch you. Let him break the parts of you that would have buckled under the pressure later. He knows what's coming, you don't. And that's why he's preparing you now. So keep showing up, keep being faithful with the little, keep letting him shape you, because when the time is right, when your character can carry the calling, he'll take what was done in secret and make it seen. But only after he knows you can handle it. Your hiding season isn't wasted, it's holy. Sometimes silence feels like rejection. It feels like absence. It feels like God packed up and left you in the middle of your struggle, your confusion, your chaos. But what if the silence isn't abandonment? What if it's strategy? What if it's love disguised as stillness? See, we don't always understand that when God is silent, he's still speaking, just not in the way we want him to. His silence doesn't mean disinterest. It means he's doing a deeper work, a quieter work, one that doesn't need noise to be powerful. There are moments when we beg for answers. We say, God, just give me a sign, show me something, tell me what to do. And all we get back is stillness, no breakthrough, no loud confirmation, just space, just time. And it's in that space that many of us start doubting. We wonder if we did something wrong. We question our calling. We start thinking maybe we missed it. Maybe we're not enough. But here's what you need to understand. God doesn't waste his silence. He uses it to strengthen your spirit, to develop your discernment, and to increase your dependence. When you don't hear God the way you used to, it doesn't mean he's gone. It may mean he's growing you. Think about this. When a teacher is giving an exam, they don't talk, they don't give hints, they don't remind you of what you learned. They sit quietly and let you apply everything you've already been taught. That silence isn't punishment, it's part of the process. And maybe that's where you are. Maybe God's just saying, you've got this. You know me. Trust me now. Walk in what I already gave you. Faith isn't proven in the moments when you feel full and fired up. Faith is proven in the silence, when you pray and don't hear anything back and you still show up. When you worship and you don't feel goosebumps, but you lift your hands anyway. When you obey and it doesn't get easier, but you stay obedient anyway. That's real faith. That's mature faith. Oh, That's the kind of faith God builds in seasons where it feels like he's far, but in reality, he's closer than ever, watching to see if you believe in who he is more than in what he gives. We've gotten so used to constant noise, immediate feedback, and instant results that we treat God like an algorithm. But he's not moved by how often you refresh your prayers. He's not a system you hack. He's a father you trust. And he wants you to want him, not just his voice. Because if your relationship with him is built only on what he says, what happens when he chooses not to speak? But if it's built on who he is, then even in silence, your faith stands. So maybe this is your training ground. Maybe this is where he's teaching you how to stand without the crutch of clarity. Maybe he's testing whether you'll keep walking even when the path isn't lit. And that's hard, I won't lie. But it's holy, because when you learn how to trust God in silence, you become unshakable. You stop depending on feelings and you start walking in faith. You stop needing constant signs and you start walking in deep assurance. Don't resent the silence. Don't rush through it. Let it teach you. Let it deepen your faith. Let it strip away your need for constant validation. Because when you come out of this season, you won't just know what God said, you'll know who he is. And that's the kind of faith that can weather anything. Sometimes the most sacred places are the ones nobody else can see. The places where you wrestle with your thoughts, your doubts, your insecurities. The places where you cry in silence because you're too tired to explain your pain to anyone. It's in those places that God does his most intimate work, not on platforms, not in public applause, but in secret where nobody else is watching. And that's why we've got to stop measuring progress by how visible it is. Because some of the most powerful growth happens when there's no audience, no validation, and no one clapping for you. There's a reason God hides you before he reveals you. There's a reason he says, be still before he says, go. Because if you step out before you're built up, what you're called to carry could crush you. So he hides you, not to punish you, but to protect you. He's not denying you the spotlight. He's developing your soul. He's not withholding opportunity. He's preparing your integrity to sustain the opportunity. What he builds in the dark is what will sustain you in the light. But if you skip the secret place, you'll crumble. When we live in a time where everyone wants to be known, everyone wants to be followed, everyone wants to go viral, but God's not interested in building influencers. He's interested in building instruments. And instruments don't get to decide when they're played. They get picked up by the hand of the master, and they make sound only when he says so. So if God has you in a season where nobody's calling your name, where doors feel shut, where your gift feels overlooked, don't despise it. That's not rejection, it's refinement. A secret place isn't glamorous. It's quiet. It's humbling. It's lonely sometimes, but it's holy. That's where character is forged. That's where your roots go deep. That's where you learn that obedience isn't about recognition, it's about relationship. That's where God asks you to do hard things that nobody else will ever know you did. Like forgiving someone who never apologized. Like showing up with excellence even when no one says thank you. Like praying for someone who hurt you. That's what he builds in secret. And it's those unseen decisions that prepare you to carry the weight of visible purpose. So don't curse the hidden seasons. Don't rush to be seen. Because you can gain the whole platform and lose your peace if you skip the process. And if all you chase is being known by people, you'll never become known by God. But when you choose to sit at his feet in silence, to be faithful in the background, to keep building even when no one's watching, you become unstoppable. Not because you're loud, not because you're popular, but because your strength is rooted in something deeper than attention. God's not in a hurry with you. He's not comparing your timeline to someone else's. He's not stressed that you're not further along. He's working in you, layer by layer, moment by moment. In every tear, every sacrifice, every unseen act of obedience, it matters. It's not wasted. Heaven sees it all. And when the time is right, when your heart is ready, when your foundation is strong, He will bring you out of the shadows, not for your glory, but for His. And you'll know that it was worth it. Every silent night, every quiet step, every hidden moment, let Him build you in secret so that when you're revealed, you'll be ready.